What up, y'all? It's your boy Dawson from D&D TV and also Dawson Speak. I want to thank y'all for rating, commenting, and subscribing. I want to thank everybody who's been rocking with us from the beginning and even the ones who've just joined along now. But one thing I want to say is, am I saddened really about them splitting up? Yeah, I'm saddened that the marriage didn't work, but I'm not sad that that he was cheating. I'm not sad that, she decided not to stay in a marriage with a man who don't want to be with her. And obviously, by this being his third time, I believe, cheating on her, he don't want to be with you. We know that marriage is supposed to be between two people through richer or poor, death do us part. And it didn't say anything about nobody else in there. However, there are those who argue that no one can actually be with one person. And, I kind of waver on that thing, too. But then again, in this situation and in a situation that people who believe in the word, marriage is supposed to be just you and that other person. Now, there have been people who spoke out on this about the decision, and some people have said, you're not supposed to get divorced and all this kind of stuff and all this. And the Bible says this and the Bible says that. Y'all, the Bible says a lot of stuff that people don't follow. A lot of people will take certain sections of the Bible and certain things and say this and put it this way and all this kind of way to make themselves look good. I'm not one of those people. But I just want to say, Joy Hill, like I said before, you're a beautiful woman. I hope that, this situation does not, make you feel that there's no one out there who could love you for you. And I hope Pastor Chris Hill finds who he needs to find, or just be by himself or be a single man. Because the sad thing is to be a leader, and to be a leader who's supposed to be a moral compass or have moral, some moral, authority, and then to cheat and then to have it affect so many people, in your church. But first of all, your family, because you have sons, you have boys, teenage boys, I believe, who are looking up to you, and they see daddy act like this, and they go out and they take that same kind of behavior into their lives. But I hope also it causes a lot of women in the church to wake up and to understand that people are human, and men too, that these pastors are human. And, one thing I heard one of my subscribers say in one of his videos, Tim, and I did get you on this, about calling people the man of God and the women of God. And it's true, because I don't know who even started that title, the man of God and the women of God. It's just something that church people say. So that's why I was trying to convey that in my video. But it is true. That's one thing I'm going to stop saying, because I ain't giving nobody a title like that no more. God is God, and those people are who they are. But again, Joy Hill, like I said, you're going to be all right. The children are going to be all right. I'm glad he stepped down, unlike some of these pastors who can't control their penises, but still want to get up and preach. Jermaine O. Simmons in Tallahassee, who still want to get up and preach, and say that God is working on them and all this stuff. And of course, who stays in the church? A bunch of black women who say, that's okay, pastor. We forgive you, pastor. God gonna work it out, pastor. But, you wonder why your husband cheating on you. But speaking of cheating, let me go on to this point. Now, I said I wasn't going to touch this situation, but I'm going to touch it because I was reading up on some stuff, and then I met with one of my clients yesterday, and she was talking to me about certain things, and it brought me to this topic. A lot of these pastors are getting caught in scandals like this, and a lot of them are having babies on their wives, and a lot of pastors who say that they're men of God. There I go again. See, it's going to take a minute. It's going to take a minute. A lot of these pastors who say that they are representatives of God and who are supposed to be representatives of God, a lot of them seem to be leaving trails everywhere, including this man right here, Pastor Jamal Bryant. Now, y'all know the situation. He has another child out of wedlock from this lady, and she's trying to get him in court, and was trying to get him to go to jail over some child support issues. And there was a write-up about this a while ago on Ebony Magazine, and on Essence. And this lady in this article stated exactly what I feel about this situation, not only with Jamal Bryant's situation, but other pastor situations who are in scandals, so to speak, or who speak one word, but they live another way. And one thing she said is, why are we making excuses for Pastor Jamal Bryant? Question mark. Enough is enough. And basically in this article, she goes on to say, how he talks one way and says all these things. And he seems to be the Tyrese of gospel. Like, they say all of these things about you need to do this and you need to do this, but their lives that they live speak otherwise. And my thing to Jamal Bryant is that out of all the things that you say that God can do for people and the people in your church at Empowerment Temple in Baltimore, can the same power control your sexual urges? Can you have sexual control? That's all I ask. That's what I ask for any of these men and people in leadership who seem to get so carried away when they're preaching. But when you get out of the pulpit or you leave the church, you end up in scandals. You end up doing opposite of what you get up there and preach about. Is there enough power to control your vagina and your penis? Is there enough self-control in you to do that, since you will get on the pulpit and condemn others for not doing what you go out and do? That's my whole thing, because I think it's very unfair that we have people, and like the lady stated in this article, she said Pastor Bryant has gone too far. He's a man, yes, but also a minister and should be held at a higher standard. I don't know about that no higher standard, but he definitely should be held at a standard, as being a minister. There are people in his camp who say that Pastor Bryant repeatedly lacks sexual self-control, and that distracts from his ministry. And I would say not only with Pastor Jamal Bryant, but a lot of these ministers, that a lot of them, it seems like they cannot control their sexual urges. And it's like, it baffles me. Let me tell y'all why it baffles me. Because I don't go to church. I'm not a pastor. I'm not an evangelist. I'm not a prophet. I'm not an apostle. I'm me. I enjoy being me. I love me. I don't need a title to make me be me. And I don't need a title to speak what's on my mind on my show. But just think about this. Y'all want these people to come out of the strip club. Y'all want these people to come out of the porn industry. Y'all want these people to stop whoring around and stop fornicating. Y'all want these people to so-called come out of homosexuality and come out of lesbianism. But when they come to your church and you have leaders and people in the church who are doing the same thing in the pulpit that they're preaching against, and you get people in your church who are coming out of the strip club and who were prostitutes, and they get manipulated and played on by the pastors and by the deacons and by the evangelists and the teachers who want to be freaks themselves, what kind of message are you sending to the world about this God that you serve, that you represent? What kind of message are you sending to the world when you tell these boys to come out of homosexuality and get with a woman and God will deliver you from that, but they sucking your dick in the back of the church? I got a problem with that, man. I got a problem with y'all. And I think I was in a church, and I ain't gonna say my pastor name, but he did speak on that. He said that you cannot be struggling with different things and then try to minister to people about those same things, because you're gonna get caught up in it. That was years ago. He said that, and he did point to the fact that if you're out here saying that you are free from homosexuality, and then you get gays and lesbians who come to your church, don't be trying to date them on the side if you saying you really free, because you're sending a mixed message to the people who really want God and to the people who really supposedly want to leave that lifestyle, if it's possible to leave. Because there are people who say they can't change. There are those who say they can. But that's the same thing that goes for people who've come out of the adult film industry. Yeah, we can go on the internet and see their videos. Yeah, we can go and know that they did porn for a couple of years to get some money, or they were a stripper and they did internet stuff. But if they're saying that they want to come to church and be free, why should they come to church to people who just gonna try to get their freak on with them and say, oh, let's just say God forgive us after we commit the act, and we could just do this every time and just say, oh, God forgive us? Now, come on, man. We got to learn. I'm serious. If you're going to be in the church and you're going to be men who get up here and preach and women who get up there and preach and people who want everybody, oh, come to our church and come to our church. Are you living an exemplary life that people can follow? And I know we use that, oh, follow God, you don't follow people. But like I said before, you will be the only God or Bible that some people see when you leave that church and live your everyday life. And if you're trying to convert people, If you're trying to proselytize people, which is pretty much the same thing, to what you believe, then live it. Don't talk about it. Don't give it lip service. We hear what you say. We know what you say. Yeah. Live it. That's all I'm saying. Until next time, it's your boy Dawson from D&D TV. Y'all know I speak my mind on my YouTube show, and Denise does too. We love y'all. We thank y'all for rating, commenting, and subscribing. But like I said, I want all of us to go to the next levels in life. I don't want y'all to be listening to us and we don't say anything to improve, to enhance, or to educate you or to help you in your life, because there are people who are going through some drastic things in the church. And there are people who are getting played on, by ministers and by people in leadership in the church. And these people didn't come to your church to get abused. They didn't come to your church to get molested. They didn't come to your church to be dogged out. They came because they wanted God. So let people get God and you just get out the way. Peace.